Hi, I hope you're all doing well. In this video I'm going to be comparing two polar opposite physiques, classical Frank Zane and the mutant Nick Walker, a modern behemoth. Huge guy, very promising up and coming young bodybuilder. So if you enjoyed the video, then please consider subscribing. I've presented the comparison in such a way as to hopefully make the differences between these two physiques very obvious. And this first overlay demonstrates that the difference between these two physiques is astounding. Arm development, especially in Nick Walker, is stupendous. The waist is blockier for sure, but as far as modern bodybuilders go, from the front, at least on that pose, looks fairly decent. Moving on to the lat spread, and the most striking difference for me is the leg mass. Yeah, it's probably not prime Zane, it's maybe a little bit later. I think the front double bicep at the beginning was probably Frank Zane at his absolute best. But regardless, there's clearly a massive difference in the leg development, shoulders and lats. Nick Walker he really is huge for such a young bodybuilder. And again, it's even more obvious with the silhouette comparison here, the difference in lats and shoulders and tricep pop. So the difference here is even more astounding from the front, most muscular. It's really hard to find traditional poses, at least modern traditional poses for old school classic bodybuilders, because they tend to exhibit the pose in a classical way with a certain twist to it. So here we've got Frank Zane with the hands on hip, most muscular, obviously very lean, very shredded, but lacks the overall mass of Nick Walker. Completely different physiques. There's no space between Nick Walker's arms and his torso. It's just mass on mass on mass. Unbelievable. So the next one is the back double bicep. And again, it's a slight variation of that pose for Frank Zane. They don't ever tend to do classical, or rather traditional poses in the modern sense. There's always a slight twist on that. It's even more difficult to find high quality pictures as well. This is probably the highest quality one that I could find. There are some, but they're just so blurry they wouldn't be a good comparison. So for me, the flow of the old school physique, the classical physique, trumps the new age bodybuilder in my opinion. But it can't be argued that mass of Nick Walker completely embarrasses Frank Zane in all areas. And it's even more obvious here in the upper body side triceps. So this is the best picture I could find. It's only waist upwards, and Nick Walker makes Frank Zane look like a child here. I think, to be honest, Nick Walker rivals Dorian Yates' density from this picture, this black and white picture. Insane muscular development. I should note also these pictures I've taken a long time to match the height. Frank Zane 5'9", Nick Walker 5'7", so I spent a long time trying to get that as accurate as I could to really show the difference between these two physiques in the best way possible. And here again, you've got the classical abs on fire from Frank Zane. It flows just so much better. It just looks so much better. I think modern execution of the abs on fire is very, very poor. It looks awkward. A lot of the bodybuilders just look awkward. And I don't think Nick Walker is an exception here. Although his waist is tight, he's got a decent six-pack for a guy of his size. But again, the waist is starting to get a little bit blocky from the sides. You can see that here with a silhouette pose. So that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, then please consider giving the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. Stay strong.